it's Amy Coots here. I am an actor and the founder of Acting with Courage Hypnotherapy and the host of this here little show, Why This? So we've wrapped up for 2019, but I thought I would do one last bonus video because it is very important that I introduce the other person who has been responsible for all of these videos. So here I am with my collaborator, Josh Harris, who, say hi,
Hello.
who is a very talented filmmaker here in Brighton, or I should say Hove, actually.
Oh, thank you.
And he also runs ZooTime Productions. So, Josh, welcome. You're in front of the camera.
Oh,
How does it feel?
It feels strange. Always on the editing desk.
Yes. So Josh has been responsible for editing, putting together the opening sequences, and also all the captioning that you have seen on the videos. So, Josh, I have to ask you the same question that I have asked every other guest that I've had on the series. Why filmmaking?
Why filmmaking? Big question. I think from about 15 years old, that's when I first picked up the camera, and I just fell in love with making my own little world, making my own little stories. And, you know, after school, I just really felt that I wanted to push it. And I was in school, I was sort of pushed down a very sciencey route.
Oh.
And sort of when I got to A-levels, I wanted to pursue it. I knew I wanted to do it. So I sought out courses, and University of Sussex really did me well.
Fantastic.
That's
awesome.
Went to Sussex, had a great time, learned the skills that I needed. Now I'm here, Vinny.
I have to point out, if anyone hasn't noticed, do you think he sounds like Stephen Merchant? Because I really do. The first time I met Josh, I thought, you remind me of that guy. He's like Stephen Merchant. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that comparison before.
It's a good one because he's hilarious.
I'll take it.
So I'm just curious, Josh, did you ever have any resistance or anyone telling you, oh, filmmaking, it's not really a stable profession, maybe you shouldn't pursue that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah? Even in school, my biology tutor, I remember him telling me, you know, you're good at biology, you should do that at uni, and then do this as do the filmmaking as a side thing. You know, you could do that as a hobby. But that really wasn't what I needed.
No.
I needed to really, I'm just such a ball of ideas and creative things and thoughts going through my head. I just needed to have a platform to be able to do that. And I think filmmaking is it for me.
Awesome, and we're very grateful that you are doing it. Because otherwise we wouldn't be here, there'd be no conversation. Mm-hmm. Did you have, so as a kid growing up, was there a filmmaker who in particular inspired you?
Okay, yeah, as a kid, it was really, I remember watching Shaun of the Dead for the first time.
Yeah. Love Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I must have been 12 years old. And it was just it felt like a very different style of filmmaking that I was used to, especially British films. British films at that time were just awful. So it was just really great to see Edgar Wright just doing all of these flashy montages and with people that I found funny on the screen. Simon Pegg and Frost, the physical humour really got to me when I was that age. And I know zombies were very cool at the time, so I was well into that.
Still kind of are really, if you think about Walking Dead and all these zombie things that have popped up.
They're lingering. Yeah, but after seeing Edgar Wright, I was just it really gave me that urge to do what he does, you know. And in a lot of my earlier films, I was really trying to emulate the whip pans and the quick style of filmmaking, which I learned is quite difficult to do.
Right.
Just lots of planning. It just takes a lot of planning and storyboarding and knowing exactly where each shot is going to whip to. But I think that was good. It was a very good practice for me to be doing that from an organizational perspective rather than a practical perspective. It's great learning the skills, but also just having that knowledge to, you know, dedicate a week to just planning out how it's going to look.
Cool.
Yeah.
So are we going to be seeing a feature-length zombie film from you anytime soon?
I think zombies are on the way out, you know. I don't think they're not so cool anymore. But I think something fast-paced and whippy, like Edgar Wright.
There you
I
go.
guess I could go down that route. Yeah, definitely.
So in the future, we're going to see something fast-paced, whippy, and we'll be like, oh, that's a Josh Harris film. I know a Josh Harris film, like a Tarantino film. You're like, you know a Tarantino film? I know a Josh Harris film.
Yeah.
Great. Tell me more about ZooTime Productions.
Oh, thanks for bringing that up.
That's all right.
Yeah, so I run a little videography company called ZooTime Productions. It's just me. Do lots of different things. We're sort of marketing ourselves more towards music videos and music content for musicians. But I'm doing other sort of community projects and stuff with smaller businesses. That's why I got hooked up with you. It was perfect. Like,
yeah.
Project really suited. I've always wanted to do a YouTube project, so it was great to have you as a platform to be able to shove all my ideas on.
Hang on, let me get that £20 saying that. So it's kind of interesting how I ended up meeting Josh, because I actually met your lovely partner, Louisa, first. She interviewed me at a studio here in Brighton called Copper Dollar Studios. And it's funny, if I can give anyone any advice, if you have an idea and you're wanting to put a project together and you're not sure, it's always good to tell people, because I just happened to mention to her, because she asked me what was coming up, and I said, oh, actually I've got this idea for this series to combine creatives with mental health and well-being and that, because obviously I run a hypnotherapy business. And she said, oh, I know a few filmmakers, and my boyfriend Josh is a filmmaker. And I said, oh, well, I'd love to grab his contact details. And then we had a coffee, and what I really loved when we met was just how enthusiastic you were, and that's why I knew you were the right person to work with, because I knew you were going to match me in terms of commitment and dedication and enthusiasm. So collaboration, it's important. Because I mean, we just had a short meeting about the direction we're taking the series in, and I was just like, my mind was blown at how much Josh had thought about this, and I'm still sort of rattling around with the direction. But the technical aspects are the things that I'm not so great at. So it's important to, if you are looking to put a project together, what is it that you need someone else to help you with? Because there's I mean, there's no way I would have come up with this, or I could have, but it just wouldn't have worked out, I think, the way that it has. So that is a very valuable lesson, is to find people that have the additional skills that you require. Excellent. So from doing this project, I'd be very interested to know, Josh, what have you learnt this year?
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a lovely question. I think
it's so complimentary, right?
Because I've spent so much time on the computer, and I've probably watched your interviews more than even you, I would say.
I imagine so.
So yeah, I'm probably the best person to ask this question.
That's good. That's good.
I would say that something I got from everyone was just finding a way to be able to talk to yourself when you're not in the best headset. I think that everyone gave really good gems of knowledge about how to, and it was all separate. I mean, everyone came with their own little gems that they gave, but I think the overarching thing was, how to actually sort of take a step back and think, like, you're not feeling too great right now, or you're not really going the direction that you want, and actually like sitting down and saying, like, what was the problem here? Like, why didn't this go so well? Why didn't that go so well? It really helped me sort of take that step back, give it a bit of perspective, and my mental health has certainly been the better for it.
Oh, great. Well, I'm really happy to hear that. And then that was going to be my next question, because, you would be, I imagine, and help me out here if this is incorrect, but I imagine you are sitting with projects a lot by yourself, or you may have spaces in between projects. Like, is there anything in particular you do to navigate those gaps, or is there ever a lingering fear of like, oh, when am I going to be doing another project again?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's when you've got a project on, you feel like very good.
Yeah, of
especially
course.
It's different when you're a freelancer as well, because if you're in an established company, you'll be given work structure by the hierarchy, by your bosses or whatever. They'll give you a project to get on with, and you'll have work to do for the day. But if you're a freelancer and you have to, do it yourself, it's so much about organising your time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, when you've got 7-8 projects on at the same time, you have to really allocate days or hours of days, because
I suppose that's a good problem though, to have 7 or 8 projects, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you can't, it's difficult to do one project over one day, because you just get so empty of thought, because I'm just everywhere. I gotta take each project and give it their own amount of time, and really.
Yeah. No, understandable. Do you have a sage piece of advice that you could give to anyone who's considering a career in filmmaking?
From a freelance perspective, or from just anyone that wants to go into it?
I guess you could look at both, but if you want to go from a freelancer perspective, go for it.
I mean, I would say just keep creating. Making is the best way to do it. We spend so much time thinking about these big projects that we got on, but we spend very little time actually making these projects. So it's very important to just continually make stuff, and like get on the software that you need to learn. And see, recently I haven't made any narrative based stuff for a long time. For like a few months, and I've just got my new camera back. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I just wanted something with continuity editing, a little narrative, and that goes from start to finish. Most of the stuff that we're doing is interview based or sort of non-linear music video stuff. And I just wanted something to sort of like hone my skills back into that area and start thinking about how I'd approach shooting, how I'd approach editing. And that is basically what I needed to do, was just get making again and like start thinking that way. And now I've got lots of different projects that are going to go that way. Bigger stuff for film festivals.
Amazing. Yeah. So I guess the message is it's in the doing that kind of keeps us going. And I mean, I guess it keeps you happy too, because even if you're not doing an official project for someone, you're like, okay, I now need to work on some skills while I'm not doing that thing. I mean, that's amazing to be that self-motivated and to keep the drive to keep going. Yeah, that is
the hardest thing, to really like keep that motivation going 100%. Because you have bad days when you go to work if you're not in a freelance position, and you just might not work as hard. But when you have to do it by yourself, there's that added pressure. But as long as you take that step back and think about like, what do I need to do today? What do I need to do this week to achieve like the goal that I want to get to by the end of the year? You set yourself deadlines. So important.
Brilliant. I don't think I could have said that any better. All right, Josh, but before we wrap up, if you can let us know, or let the audience know where they can find you and your wonderful work, go for it.
Absolutely. So, hi, I'm Josh Harris from ZooTime Productions. I have a little website, zootimeproductions.com. Hit me up. You can get me at josh@zootimeproductions.com as well, from an email. On Facebook, on Instagram. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Josh, for putting yourself in front of the camera. You all right? How'd that feel? Did that feel okay?
It was difficult.
Yeah, you want to do some acting now? All right. Well, thank you so much for everyone who's been supporting Why this year. We're going to take a little break now until next year, but we'll have some more great interviews for you. So we'll keep you posted. Have a great rest of your year.